Before we start, I want you to imagine something with me. It's early in the morning, the sun is barely peeking through your blinds, and you're sitting at your kitchen table with a cup of coffee that's gone a little cold. There's a stack of mail in front of you, nothing unusual, just the typical mix of bills, pharmacy reminders, maybe even a birthday card you haven't opened yet. But then you notice an envelope with your Medicare plan's logo on it. And before you even open it, something inside you tightens, because you just know this is one of those letters that can change your entire upcoming year. This is what millions of seniors experienced as we headed into 2026, quiet, sudden, overwhelming changes to Medicare Advantage, Medicare Supplement, and Part D drug plans that most people never saw coming. These aren't small changes. These are real shifts in coverage, costs, networks, and even the benefits people rely on daily, especially the dental, vision, and hearing benefits that became the most competitive battleground inside Medicare Advantage. And whether you're brand new to Medicare or have been on it for years, 2026 is shaping up to be one of the most important years to pay attention to. Because even if you think your plan is stable, even if you've been on it for years, even if you've never bothered with the annual enrollment period because everything looks fine, this year is different. Comment your name and state below. I'd love to see who's watching and benefiting from these videos. Now, let's talk about what's actually happening, and why so many people feel blindsided right now. One of the most shocking parts of entering 2026 is the sheer number of plan disruptions across the country. We're talking about nearly 3 million people facing plan terminations, reductions, forced switches, or benefit cuts they didn't ask for. I've talked to people who said, "I've had this plan for 6 years, why would they suddenly drop my dentist?" Or, "I didn't even realize my doctor is leaving the network." And there was this one woman, Linda from Michigan, who told me she had been on the same Medicare Advantage plan for so long she considered her doctors, her specialists, her dental provider, all as part of her little medical family. When she opened her letter for 2026, she found out her plan had reduced its dental allowance by almost half and eliminated the transportation benefit she used every month. She felt like something stable in her life had been yanked away without warning. And here's the part that people don't usually see behind the scenes: these changes aren't happening because insurance companies suddenly want to make your life difficult. It's happening because Medicare Advantage plans are being squeezed in ways they haven't been before. In 2026, CMS implemented adjustments that impact how carriers get paid, how they structure benefits, and how they absorb increasing healthcare costs. Some plans simply couldn't sustain the big benefits they advertised in previous years. Free dental, huge OTC allowances, $0 premiums. All of that looked great, but many plans found themselves unable to maintain those benefits under the new cost pressures. So they began trimming, not everywhere, but in strategic places where the average person may not notice right away. But people do notice. Especially when it affects the parts they actually use: dental coverage, copays for specialists, maximum out-of-pocket limits, and prescription drug formularies. And speaking of prescription drugs, 2026 is especially interesting because of the major shifts in Part D. We're talking new negotiated drug price policies, out-of-pocket cap changes, insulin cost rules, and the elimination of the 5% catastrophic coinsurance. These changes sound great on paper, and many of them truly are, but they also ripple through Medicare Advantage plans because Part C includes Part D in most cases. So when drug cost structures change, the carriers have to adjust somewhere else. Sometimes that somewhere else ends up being the dental or vision budget. Sometimes it's the plan's network. Sometimes it's the transportation benefit. Sometimes it's everything. I remember talking to a gentleman named Frank in Arizona. He's 74, retired firefighter, tough guy, but even he looked defeated when he told me what happened. He said, "My Part D drug that I've taken for 5 years suddenly moved to Tier 4. My copay went from $47 last year to almost $120. And it wasn't even a fancy medication, just a drug that lost manufacturer price support, got reclassified, and suddenly became expensive." For him, that wasn't just an annoyance. It was a real financial pinch. These kinds of shifts are exactly why 2026 is one of the most important years to check your plan, compare your options, and not assume that what worked last year will work again. Another huge topic for 2026 is dental. People don't realize this, but dental became the showcase benefit over the last few years. Insurance companies used dental to attract enrollment, offering big allowances and extensive coverage, and honestly it worked. People signed up in huge numbers. But 2026 saw those high allowances come under pressure. Some plans reduced their dental benefit from $3,000 to $1,000. Others maintain large allowances but quietly reduce their network, meaning fewer dentists accept the plan. And some carriers shifted from comprehensive dental included to you now get a small preventive-only package unless you upgrade. That upgrade can cost an extra premium, sometimes an extra $20 to $45 a month. And I want you to picture someone like Sarah, a retired nurse from Texas. She showed me her 2025 plan booklet, which proudly advertised comprehensive dental included. She used it for cleanings, x-rays, even a root canal last year. But when she opened her 2026 booklet, she saw that the plan had quietly switched to a new dental administrator. Her dentist wasn't in the network anymore. Her comprehensive benefit was now up to $1,200 maximum, and crowns weren't covered the way they used to be. She said, "I thought Medicare was supposed to get better every year, not worse." And she wasn't wrong to feel that way. The reality is, Medicare Advantage can shift, adapt, shrink, expand, and restructure based on cost pressures. Sometimes it improves, sometimes it doesn't. Let's talk about something else that's extremely important in 2026, the tension between insurance carriers and independent agents. Most people don't know this, but behind the scenes there has been a massive debate about agent compensation, plan oversight, marketing rules, and compliance changes. Carriers feel like they're being squeezed, agents feel like they're being restricted, and seniors often end up stuck in the middle without clear information. In 2026, CMS introduced new guardrails for plan marketing, call recording requirements continued, and agents had to follow stricter rules about what they could say and how they could recommend plans. These rules were intended to protect consumers, but they also made the process more confusing for people trying to get help from someone they trust. And then there's something even more personal, rising premiums. Yes, many Medicare Advantage plans are still zero premium in 2026, but not all of them. Some plans increase their premiums anywhere from $5 to $35 a month to maintain stable benefits. Others kept the premium at zero but increased out-of-pocket costs. Those maximum out-of-pocket limits? Some went up by hundreds of dollars. And this is where I think about someone like Robert in North Carolina. He told me, "I don't care about the premium. I care about what happens when something actually goes wrong." And he's right. $0 premium doesn't matter if you pay $400 every time you see a specialist or $350 per day in the hospital. People need to focus less on shiny benefits and more on actual protection. And this brings me to one of the biggest misconceptions people still have: if my plan changes, Medicare will notify me. No. Medicare doesn't notify you. Your plan does. And sometimes those letters look so ordinary people toss them in the recycling without even reading them. That's why so many people enter January thinking everything is the same as last year, and then they walk into their doctor's office or pharmacy and suddenly nothing works the way they expect. And I don't mean small changes. I mean big things: your doctor no longer in network, your drugs suddenly costing 4 times as much, your dental coverage cut in half, your favorite hospital no longer accepting your plan. In 2026, more people than ever before will need to reevaluate their plans. Not because Medicare is getting worse, but because it's evolving, and sometimes the evolution comes with growing pains. I tell people all the time, Medicare Advantage can be a great fit. It can save you money, it can give you benefits you'd never get under original Medicare alone, and for some people it's the perfect choice. But it can also be fragile. Benefits can change. Networks can change. Drug formularies can change. That's why you cannot treat Medicare Advantage like a set it and forget it plan. You must look at it every single year. But let's talk about something hopeful too, because 2026 isn't all negative. There are many plans that improved. Dental upgrades happened in certain counties. Vision benefits expanded. Some plans added hearing aid allowances they never had before. A few carriers even raised their OTC benefit to help people with everyday essentials. It's not all cuts, it's shifts. Some plans give less, some give more, and some reinvent themselves completely to stay competitive. What matters is that you look, compare, and make sure your health, your doctors, and your medications are fully protected. I remember talking to a woman named Grace in Florida. She said, "I've been on the same plan for 8 years. I don't like change." And I told her, "You don't have to change, unless the plan changed first." That's the mindset people need in 2026. You aren't switching plans every year because you want to. You're simply matching your plan to your needs, and your needs to the reality of Medicare's shifting structure. So if you're someone who's watching this feeling overwhelmed, take a breath. You are not alone. Millions of people feel the same way every year, and especially this year. But the good news is, knowledge is power. If you check your plan, compare your options, review your medications, and confirm your doctors, you can avoid 99% of the problems people run into every January. A little attention now saves you from big headaches later. And if you're someone who relies heavily on dental, vision, hearing, or prescription drugs, then 2026 is the year you absolutely need to be proactive. Look at your plan's dental network. Look at the allowance. Look at the co-pays. Look at your Part D drug tiers. Look at whether your hospital is still in network. And make sure you know your maximum out-of-pocket limit. These 5 things alone will tell you whether your plan is strong or whether it's time to explore alternatives. The bottom line is simple: Medicare is changing. Benefits are shifting. Plans are restructuring. And whether those changes affect you depends entirely on how closely you pay attention. You deserve clarity. You deserve stability. You deserve a plan that fits your health and your budget without surprises. So take the time to understand what's changing in 2026 and make sure you're protected before the year begins. If you found this breakdown helpful, make sure you leave your name and state below, because I love seeing where everyone is watching from. And remember, you're not in this alone. I'm here to help guide you through the noise, through the confusion, and through all the things Medicare doesn't always make easy to understand. Stay informed, stay empowered, and I'll see you in the next video.